we move on to lightning for a shockingly good time. Nothing too fantastic here. This is probably the shortest range attack Elementalist has available to them. Their basic attack is just a little lightning whip. Cool little effect. And then there's lightning touch here, which applies vulnerability, which is always nice. And it's a kind of like an arc circle. But damage is fairly minimal. Then there's this nice shocking aura that, like frozen armor, stuns enemies if they attack you. And then there's Ride the Lightning, which is a nice mobile ability. You can either run to or from an area, basically. And when you land, you do a short little AoE effect. And then there's Updraft, which gives you swiftness, which is very handy, especially if you've managed to apply a chill effect to your foe before rerunning Obey. And that is lightning. Now on to Earth. This is basically the tough attunement, because everybody knows that if you have Earth abilities, you're well grounded. The basic ability is a stone spike comes from the ground. It's probably the least exciting visual effect in the game, in my opinion, but it does the job. This is nice. This attunement is all about bleeding, really. This applies a nice little bleeding dot, and bleeds do stack. The next one is Ring of Earth, which is basically a ring of spikes, and also applies bleeding. And there's Magnetic Grasp. This is a great way to close the distance. Not only does it pull you to your foe, but it basically immobilizes them, which makes them unable to move. So no running away. I'll have no cowards here. And there's Earthquake, which does a lot of damage, and applies a knockdown, which is really great ability for immobilizing your foes. And this one is a combo finisher. This one applied to something like the combo field. This will do an effect that combines with it in such a way, a nice, unique way. In this case, it knocks the Earth up and makes like little flaming meteors, which is really cool looking effect. And there's Churning Earth here, and this one's kind of like a weird looking ability. It's got a cast time kind of thing, and like all the other 5th skills, kind of does a little bit of everything. It applies bleed, it's a combo finisher, it cripples your enemies, and does pretty significant damage. All in all, pretty handy skill to use. And those are the basic abilities. Now, there's all sorts of things you can do just with each attunement, all on its own. A lot of fun, basic having, especially if you're just doing, PvE, and you don't have to worry too much about tactics, with like a one-on-one or even a one-on-two battle. But that's not really how Guild Wars 2 works. Those instances are pretty rare. You're going to be fighting some unique AI enemies who have their own abilities and unique functions. It's a little more complicated than just sitting there and pressing one till they're dead. Now, the unique part about the Elementalist is the ability to combo with themselves. And this is what's going to make the attunement dancing very important, I think. Even just simple matters of, using like Burning Speed or Ring of Fire to lay down those fire combo fields, and then immediately switching to Earth Attunement and plopping down an Earthquake, which finishes off that fire with, an Earth explosion of meter burning goodiness. It, of course, sets people on fire, knocks them down for 2 seconds, and then you can immediately switch over to, say, an Air Attunement and ride the lightning and either get right back in the thick of it or make your escape if necessary. And then switch on over and throw up your Armor of Frost, which lasts for a good 7 seconds, and you are ready to start again. Set your enemies on fire, or if you want, you can continue on with the air and just make your escape. But either way, the ability to switch quickly and efficiently, and use whichever one of these 20 fantastic abilities on the fly, just makes the Elementalist so versatile, and it makes me so excited to play, because there's going to be so many different fun situations. Every ability is going to be used in one way or the other. So now we're going to talk about actual builds. Now we're talking about builds here. The build I'm going to focus on is one probably I'm most excited about. First, we'll select our healing skills. This is a nice kind of healy over time thing. It's a few seconds it lasts, and it pulses and it heals you for a little bit and removes the condition. It'll be pretty handy, and I might use that under certain circumstances. And then there's this one, which gives you a boon depending on your attunement that you're currently in when you use it. And each of them have their own unique advantages, which of course gives you more reason to want to switch attunements. And it's a pretty decent heal. It's got a bigger heal than this ability, but it also has a longer cooldown, so it requires a little more strategy to use. And then there's this one, and this is the one that I'm going to go for my build, because I'm going for a Signet build for a very specific reason, which I will get into later when we look at our attributes. But this one, it's probably the one most people are going to go with, because it's passive healing. It heals you for a little bit every time you cast a spell, which you'll pretty much be doing constantly. It's not a significant amount of heal, but its active heal is fairly decent. It's probably somewhere between these two currently, but beta being beta, who knows. But Signet is what I'm going to go, because I will be choosing for my utility skills pretty much all Signets. Now, there's some really great ones, and depending on my PvP team and maybe what dungeon or event type thing I might be running, I might easily you can switch these pretty much on the fly as long as you're not in combat, and I will certainly be doing that. But this is kind of a basic everyday build, I would say, kind of like a go-to unless something unique is called for. So now these nice utilities, we'll kind of skip over. You can always visit the website and peruse at your own leisure what they are, keeping in mind that beta is indeed beta, and they're all subject to change, and probably will. The first Signet I will go for is this Signet of Fire. It's got two wonderful abilities. The first is the Always On ability, which improves your critical chance, and there's nothing like bigger numbers for all of us number whores out there. But the Signets have this wonderful thing, there's this always on ability, so they're always useful, but then you can activate them and get a secondary ability. Of course, while you're active and then they're on cooldown, the passive ability goes away, which is a drawback, but we'll cover that shortly. This one, the active ability, it sets your enemy on fire, which is the greatest thing ever. And burn, baby, burn, Elementalist Inferno. The next one is the Signet of Earth, which gives you toughness, which of course makes you healthier, so to speak. And that's always good, especially, as a light armored castery type person who's kind of going to be more or less in the thick of it. You kind of want to be able to survive survive a little bit more. But this gives you a nice active immobilize, which will be really good if somebody's either running away from you or you want to run away and some of your other abilities are on cooldown. Now this has a really long cooldown, so use with caution. The next one, I will go for the wonderful Signet of Water. Where is it? Here it is. Because this one removes conditions every 3 seconds, and conditions are not good unless you're a warlock, I suppose, or a necromancer. Not exactly something you want on you. And then, of course, the ability to slow down your enemies is always good. And you don't have to switch to water attunement just to do that. You can have that available because you might want to be setting people on fire at the moment. So those will be my Signet abilities. Now the elite skill, boy, I just have not decided for this particular build because they're all fun, they're all unique. But I'm thinking of the Glyph of Elementals, just because it has the wonderful ability to summon cute little elemental pets. And in particular, Ice Elementals. And you gotta love Lord Splashy, and Baron Blaze, and so on and so forth. They will be making a return with this build. Now, the reason I am choosing these is mostly because of the wonderful traits, which I think will meld well with what I've selected. Now, I'll mostly be going for fire ones. It's pretty much going to be standard. Not because of the increase in power and expertise that most theory crafters seem to be obsessed with, but significantly for the traits, which of course have to do with setting people on fire. And I'm going to have to pound this home until the end of time. If you're not setting people on fire, you're not having fun. So there's ones that are, when things happen to you, or when you do things, and these of course are all in flux. They haven't balanced any of these really. So the basic one I'm going to go for first is that Pyromancer's puissance, that each fire spell I cast adds might for a short time. Now I want to do this because might, of course, is a blessing, or boon, I should say, that increases your basic damage pretty significantly. So it's good to have on you. Especially since my attacks are going to be fairly fast and frequent. I'll want them to hit a little harder. Now, the next one I want to go is Fire's Embrace, which gives me a fire aura every time I activate a Signet, which of course is going to play into the fact that all of my utilities and heal are Signet skills. So it's a fairly frequent thing I can use to help set people on fire even more. And there's another one here that has to do with, here we are, yes, Burning Precision. Now, of course, the order I'm choosing these are going to vary depending on how I decide to level. I might decide to get this one first, and this one second, and this one third, and so on. I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. This one is a nice little chance to set things on fire whenever I crit, which I gotta love. Gotta love. And then the next little bit is going to be Earth Magic here. And the reason I'm going for these, of course, there's going to be Signet Mastery, which I will eventually get. But there's one over here. Here it is, Written in Stone. That you don't lose the passive effects of Signets when you activate them. And this is, of course, going to play in greatly with not losing my condition removal, my toughness, or my crit chance, or my slow regen anytime I use these. So it'll encourage me to use them more than I might otherwise in pretty much every situation. Now, of course, we can't forget the little minor traits. I'll go over those and have no fear. And the next one, of course, is going to be the recharge, which will, of course, make them that much better and make me want to use those signets even greater. Now, I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with the last 20 points here. You know, there's a few of them. There's this one that if I put it into Arcane, I can move faster while the dagger. I'll probably do that one just for PvP's sake in general. The next one will probably be in Water Magic, because there's also another Signet one in here. Where was it? Here. Arcane and Signet skills cause vulnerability when activated, giving me even more motivation to use my Signet abilities actively and frequently. So, of course, still in flux, but the basic concept of this build is to move quickly, in and out of range, applying various buffs and setting foes on fire as frequently as possible. I don't know what more I can say about that, but moving quickly, far and away, and kiting, and you know, being able to withstand a focused assault for a little bit, you know, in Earth Attunement and the heals and immobilizing and knockdown effects and other things. Just make this a very utilitarian build, I think, which it won't be spectacular in most situations, but it will at least be useful in all situations. It's kind of like my Jack of all trades build. It brings a little bit of everything, which is going to be pretty good, I think, for just a standard go-to build. And that is why I am excited to play the Elementalist.